Hello there, I'm Begalius, here to brighten up your day. Let's talk about something nice, something fun. Let's enter the goofy, silly zone. Let's talk about contracts. Let's talk about diversity hiring. Yes, we're doing it again. We're talking about DEI. Once again, diversity and inclusion contracts. And the reason for this is that there's some news from across the pond. And I'll tell you, the perspective of the news from here, from across the pond, is that your president essentially pushed a bunch of businesses into firing pretty much every DEI hire that they made. And then services got so bad that planes started falling out of the sky. And you're getting like a ridiculously high number of plane crashes, coincidentally during an era where DEI hiring has actually been made illegal. What are the odds? But I get to be smug, right? I get to be a smug bastard because I made a video about this. I really didn't expect to make a follow-up this quickly. And yet here I am, making a follow-up already. But yes, I get to be smug because a few weeks back I said that, hey, when this happens, when they get rid of these DEI contracts, things are going to get worse, and it's not as if better people are going to be hired, because that's not the way things work, and that there are experienced people who are not just straight and white cis male. Those people definitely exist in abundance, and when it comes to hiring, people don't only hire people based on their race and stuff like that. They hire them based on their experience. That goes for whether you're white or not. And I was right. Yep. It turns out when you fire like a lot of people in these industries, doesn't go well. Bad things happen and services get worse. Who could have guessed it? Oh, who would have guessed this would happen? Oh yeah, a lot of people guess this, and I will say this. One of the reasons we're only talking about like the aviation side of things is because it's something that's immediate and affected in a very large way. Over time, these things are going to unravel, and things are going to get worse and worse and worse in other sectors. It's just in other sectors it takes time. In aviation, it's life or death immediately. And I think what's happened here, I'm pretty sure there are only two conclusions as to why this is happening, and neither of them look good for Trump or Musk. So either these airlines have fired a bunch of people and not replaced them, they're running these skeleton crews, or they've fired a bunch of people and rehired a bunch of white guys, and those white guys have not had the time to properly train and understand the systems, and so things are running amok. That's what, I can't think of anything else that it could be. Those are the only real reasons. Or just a big coincidence, just a huge coincidence. Maybe it's that. Maybe they were right all along. They were not. But that's the thing. That's what happens. And one of the reasons I want to make this video is because it's so frustrating. This is something that I've been experiencing. I don't want to say DEI stuff aside because it's egregious and awful, but I've made this video before, so I do want to talk about experiences that I've had. And I've been in the workforce for a long time now, over a decade, and in my time I've had a few jobs, and in every single job I see exactly this. I see exactly what Musk thought was smart and what he thought he was doing, and this really gives me a grasp as to whether it really is just a grift or whether he really thinks he's super smart. And I do think he thinks he's super smart because I've experienced Musk in every single job that I've had. In every job that I've had, there's been some hot-headed, ultra-conservative who decides, hey, this one person can technically do the job of three, right? I'm a genius. If I fire a bunch of people and half the workforce, this guy can just do it. And it never works out the way they think it does, because the moment they do that, and it happens in all of them, they do end up doing that, those people, they get darker circles under their eyes, they become fatigued, their workflow becomes even worse than it was prior to these people leaving. They can barely do their job, let alone two. The service gets worse, and people don't want to return to that service. I had one boss when I worked in a supermarket who was, very big on this, and they were definitely going through cuts. I remember when I left the supermarket, there were 400 employees. When I visited there about a year and a half later, and someone had told me they'd cut that down to 200, and the staff were just exhausted. And she lost the department. She stripped down the staff, lowered it, had fewer people coming in, didn't rehire people when people left, and inevitably lost the department because it was going under, because it was just going so poorly. And this happens constantly in every single field. There is some hot-headed conservative who's just like, this guy can technically do the job of two. And yes, it's that surface level thinking. Yes, on the surface, okay, yeah, maybe on the surface they can do it in the moment, but there's no long-term strategy. And guess what? They don't fucking want to do the job of two people, and they shouldn't have to do the job of two people because they get paid the salary of one. And at the moment, that's not enough, because you fucking businessmen, while you rake up more money than you ever have, are paying people less based on inflation than you should be. So go fuck yourself. That person should not be doing the job of two. Fuck off. And piss off. He's just it's dumb. It's an incredibly stupid, narrow-minded principle from someone who is not very smart, not very bright, and not very good at this. And a lot of people cite the fact that he did this with Twitter, which, by the way, is not the slam dunk you think it is, because you have to remember Twitter stopped being a money-making business in 2022. When he bought Twitter, the goal of Twitter was not to make money anymore. It was purely just to create a platform for Musk to get a government position. And so he was like throwing money into the pot in order to do that. It wasn't designed to make money. When he cut a lot of stuff, he cut a lot of people who would have generated more revenue for the business, salespeople and people who could improve the service, people who could add additions to the service. Notice he's been talking about adding so many things to Twitter, but nothing has happened, nothing has landed, and nothing has been integrated in a really tangible way. There's a couple of bits here and there that have been integrated, but nothing really, and nothing in an expansive, tangible way, because he doesn't have the staff for that. He doesn't need the staff for that, because it's not a money-making platform anymore. With regards to that, when we talk about making these cuts, you're eating into your own ability to make profit. Yeah, he did that. He made all of those cuts, but Twitter then made a fraction of what it was making previously. It had a negative impact on him. So when people say he's doing what he did with Twitter, that's not a good thing. He ran Twitter into the ground. It's not making money anymore. But why am I saying? Why am I even bothering? Why am I bothering? No one listens. Listen, I just want to say, I've been doing this channel for a long time, and in recent years, I spent time. I went to university. I learned and learned. I took note of everything I saw around me. I've been through a lot of existential dread, thinking myself into horrible mental situations, and it's garnered by just an obsession with the socio-political landscape around me and just being desperate for information. I've never got into this, but I have issues. I have problems where I'm obsessed with absorbing that, and I'm not okay when I can't. It's something that I can't treat, and I've tried everything. Including therapy. Didn't work. But yeah, I've tried everything, and in my exploration through that, I'm always right. I've been right so often on this channel. You could go back, even when it comes to gaming stuff. I've always been right about what will become a classic and what won't, and and all of this. I know the landscape, but then again, we all do. Like all of these people who said these things, who said that things aren't going to work out the way you think they are, who said when Trump said that he was going to immediately lower the price of groceries, we said there's no way you can do that. He said yes, we will, and then eggs are more expensive than they've ever been, and he's been in there for a couple of months now. He's done nothing about the price of groceries. When we said about Trump hiding legal documents and he's going to get in trouble for that. He got charged for it and then still hid the documents and then ran for president so that he wouldn't have to go to jail, so on and so forth. When we said that Musk took over Twitter and he wasn't going to be able to make money off of it, he wasn't going to be able to rebound and make more, we were right about that. When we said they don't care about you and they don't care about your opinions, and then they double back on their opinion of immigration, they don't actually care about immigration as long as the people have a lot of money. We said that. When we said that Tate was dangerous and a sexual predator, and then he gets charged for sexual assault, unfortunately in a country where they can't really do anything about it, and we're right. We're always correct about this. When we said that Musk lies about everything and then it came out that he lied about his character in Path of Exile, I just don't know how you can pay attention to these people anymore. When there's one side telling you things and then they always, 100%, always come true, always correct. We even said that Trump would. Honestly, most people on the left said, oh no, Trump's probably going to win. We said that too. We said that the moment that the assassination attempt happened, Trump's won it. We said that. We were right about that too. I just don't get it. I don't get how you couldn't pay attention to people always right. But I guess that's part of the cause when one of the big things about your side is that you're anti-education.
The PlayStation is only $149, and you can also get leading titles.